Joey Fulgham was tragically found shot to death in his bed in Longview, Mississippi, on May 11, 2003. When police questioned his widow, Christy Fulgham, she implicated her 13-year-old half-brother, Tyler Edmonds, claiming he admitted to shooting Fulgham. Police subsequently brought Tyler Edmonds, along with his mother, in for questioning regarding the murder. Initially, Tyler denied any involvement or knowledge of the crime. However, officers lured his mother out of the interrogation room, leaving Tyler alone. Christy Fulgham was then brought in to confront Tyler, asserting that he had committed the murder. Under this pressure, Edmonds gave a videotaped confession, stating he and Christy pulled the trigger simultaneously. Just a few days later, Tyler Edmonds bravely decided to recant his confession, asserting his innocence. Despite his recantation, Edmonds was tried as an adult in Oktibbeha County Circuit Court for capital murder. The prosecution's primary evidence relied heavily on his confession and the testimony of medical examiner Stephen Hain. Hain's testimony claimed that, based on the autopsy, it was highly probable two people pulled the trigger at once, supporting Tyler's confession. In his defense, Edmonds testified that Christy had confessed to him that she was the one who shot her husband. Christy, however, alleged that her husband had abused her, suggesting a complex motive for the crime. This information, along with other critical evidence, was initially excluded from Edmonds' trial. The defense team was prevented from presenting evidence of Christy's marital problems, her attempts to acquire a pistol, and her stated desire to end her situation. Such exclusions significantly hampered Edmonds' ability to present a full defense, leaving the jury with an incomplete picture of the events. Consequently, on July 24, 2004, Tyler Edmonds, then just 14 years old, was convicted of capital murder. He received a sentence of life in prison, marking a profound and tragic turn in his young life. However, in January 2007, the Mississippi Supreme Court intervened, reversing the conviction. The court ruled that Dr. Hain's testimony regarding the two-person trigger pull was improperly allowed, as it was scientifically unsound. Crucially, the Supreme Court also found that the trial judge improperly excluded evidence of Christy's motive and behavior. This included proof that she had been beaten and verbally abused for infidelity, that she was a life insurance beneficiary, and that she had actively sought a firearm. These rulings paved the way for a retrial, offering Edmonds a new chance at justice. In a significant development, on November 1, 2008, Tyler Edmonds was acquitted by a jury in Oktibbeha County Circuit Court. This acquittal finally brought an end to his wrongful conviction, freeing him after years of incarceration. Following his acquittal, Tyler Edmonds pursued compensation for his wrongful incarceration. However, Mississippi's compensation law, enacted in 2009, presented a significant hurdle for him. The statute allowed exonerees up to $50,000 for each year of wrongful imprisonment. Crucially, it excluded applicants who contributed to their own conviction, a clause that directly impacted Edmonds due to his false confession. Because of this specific wording, the state rejected his initial application for compensation. This denial ignited a further legal battle for Edmonds. Determined to challenge this injustice, Edmonds and his legal team took their case to the Mississippi Supreme Court. They argued that the false confession, given under duress at age 13, should not disqualify him. This legal challenge sought not only monetary compensation but also a broader interpretation of the law, potentially impacting other exonerees who had made false confessions. In 2017, the Mississippi Supreme Court made a significant ruling, reversing and remanding Edmonds' case. This meant his case was sent back for a trial to specifically determine his eligibility for compensation. This decision was a victory. acknowledging that his circumstances warranted further review despite the contributed to their own conviction clause. It set a precedent for similar cases. Ultimately, after a protracted legal battle, Tyler Edmonds was awarded $135,000 in compensation. This financial redress represented a degree of acknowledgement for the years stolen from him. Beyond the personal impact on Edmonds, his case highlighted the systemic issues surrounding false confessions, especially those made by minors. It brought attention to the vulnerabilities of children within the justice system. His ordeal and subsequent fight for compensation also served to hold the state accountable for its role in his wrongful conviction. Edmonds viewed this as his opportunity to directly confront the system that wronged him. His case became a national conversation, prompting discussions about compensation laws for exonerees across different states. It questioned whether those who falsely confess, particularly as children, should be penalized further. Ultimately, Tyler Edmonds' journey from wrongful conviction to compensation shed light on the complexities of justice for exonerees. It underscored the critical need for re-evaluating laws that can inadvertently punish victims of coercive interrogations.